Hi everyone, I am Mike Drop and I'm here with the artists behind our latest release on Soulvent Records, Lawless from Blacklab and Leo Wood. Hello guys, how are you doing?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Mike?
Very good, thank you.
Great to have you here and great to be able to, you know, for me personally, be able to meet you guys for the first time. And
Likewise.
I'm keen to just ask you a few questions about the release and your kind of process working together and like your bit of your background in drum and bass, what you like, what you're into, and then just maybe a bit of chat about the future as well. So I'll probably jump between you guys as I go through my questions, but I'm going to start with you guys. Blacklab, you're obviously from Las Vegas, as I think Joe and I put into most press releases, and try and do some puns on gambling and stuff. My question's like a two-parter. What's the drum and bass scene like there for you? And then the second is gambling just for tourists? And if not, how much have you won? What's your favorite game?
All right. So the first part of the question for the D&B here in Las Vegas, I want to say over the last decade, it was a bit more prominent to catch the shows downtown, to go ahead and catch like a good like Hospital Records tour or something, the Ram tours coming through. Most recently, it kind of died down. And then obviously with COVID being around, shows just completely stopped. So for that, it's basically non-existent at the moment. But we're still in the studio cranking away at the drum and bass. Awesome. For the gambling part, that's something that most locals steer clear from. Yeah. We don't visit the strip. We don't go to the casinos too often. So with that, I'd say we won a grand total of 0. but other than that, whenever we have like friends or family, we show them around, take them to the spots, the casinos and stuff. So it's always fun.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got a few vices, but gambling's not one of them. What about you, Leo? Do you have a flutter now and again?
I've actually been to Las Vegas twice.
Yeah.
Oh. For the first time, I lost. lost 100 quid, but I just went straight to the poker table, and it was just hilarious because it was just so cliche. And you had the guy in the cowboy hat, and you had the girl with the cigarette. And me and my boyfriend just went through and were just like, right, so we're just going to get all the free drinks. I ended up getting pocket aces 3 times and lost every single time.
Wow.
No. Crazy. I was like, oh,
so no beginner's luck then?
Well, I've had beginner's luck on other occasions.
Oh, yeah.
And then the last time was when we drove our bus through, and we just stayed for like an hour.
Cool. So I'll ask the next question to both of you. I'll start with you, Leo. When did you first start getting into drum and bass, and what was the tunes, the artists that inspired you or motivated you to get into it and start the string of back catalogue releases you've got under your belt now?
So drum and bass for me was the youth. When I started sneaking into clubs at 15, and I was going to Exeter, Phoenix, and all of those kind of hot spots. So there's obviously an absolute soft spot for it. High contrast era, all those like power, like iconic vocals, which have obviously inspired me more than maybe I've ever even realized until I started really getting into drum and bass over the last like couple of years properly. I would say that was where I first came into contact with it. Awesome. And then once again, when I moved back into Bristol, I had like quite a fair big break from the drum and bass scene. And then I started to work with Faction again. And I was like, oh, look, it's really evolved and there's loads of interesting things going on.
Yeah, well, as I said before we started recording, I'm a big fan of yours. So I've really enjoyed your stuff with Willem McLeod and Vanguard Project as well, as Faction, obviously. So to you guys, Blacklab, what about you? Same question to you. What who's inspired you to get into drum and bass? What kind of drum and bass do you like?
Yeah, so years ago, I'd say it was around 2009, 2010. A group, Planet of the Drums, was doing their kind of stateside tour. I had actually gotten booked for that. And this is before the whole Blacklab thing even. Got booked for that show. I played my set, and it was really my first time playing drum and bass. I wasn't, all too familiar with it, at least with how I am now. But basically after seeing them perform and after seeing the energy that kind of can be brought from the genre, I just decided to stick with it.
Awesome.
And then from my experience, he was doing the DJ stuff. I was just raving at the warehouses and whatnot, doing all that fun stuff. He used to spin like hardcore, and then it got into the drum and bass stuff as well. Once he got to the drum and bass stuff, it just kind of like just stuck, and there was no escaping it. After listening to it, started getting on the iPads, putting it on the playlists, just listening to it on the bus, on the way home from work, and then just over the course of like the last 5-6 years, it just got really just full blown. Like, let's just go ahead, jump into it.
Awesome. So if I go into your Spotify and go to the on repeat section, like what would I find in there for you guys? Blacklab first. Leo, I'll give you a chance.
Definitely a lot of I'd say definitely a lot of the Don Wall Mohican sound or Mohican Sun sound. Yeah.
Artificial Intelligence, Caliber, Liquid, a lot of Liquid. We definitely listen to a good chunk of Liquid. There's definitely still, you're going to see like maybe some Mephius pop up in there as well. You know, you got to have some of the production up there, but with that, probably more along the Liquid artists for sure.
Cool. All right, Leo, what about you?
I'm just trying to
you're opening it up in the background.
Like, what am I going here? I listen to such a broad range of music that I can't say it's all going to be drum and bass, because I write so much as well. So every day I'm writing a new song. So kind of when it finishes, I tend to listen to something completely different to give myself a refresh. So I've been listening to a lot of, so let me check. This week I've got quite a lot of Polo and Pan. I don't know if you guys know them. Not drum and bass. It's kind of like quirky house. Okay. And I got Elder Island.
Okay.
Got Charlie Bricks, obviously checking out the conversation.
Nice.
Point of Origin album as well, because obviously that's just been released. So I was.
And you featured on that, right?
Yeah, and it's a cool album. Yes. There's loads of stuff going on.
Yeah, a lot in there.
There is.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I totally hear that. If you've been, I don't even know how many times you guys collectively would have listened to Lawless in particular as part of the production process. But yeah, I can totally understand what you mean when you say you need a bit of a break and listen to some other genres. But just asking you some questions around, getting together and working. Blacklab guys, I understand you had like a short list of vocalists you wanted to work with, right? And Leo was on there. How did it approach to? How did it get all sorted out?
So when we first sent out the demos to Soulvent, I want to say Jack and Joe said, hey, let's see if we can get a vocalist on it to take it to the next level. We were all for it. At that point, that's when they asked us as well for a short list to see if there were any vocalists that we'd be interested in working with. Leo was definitely on that list. We definitely like her discography. Her voice is amazing. So we're like, that would definitely work out. When they said that we actually got Leo on the track, completely blown away. We were just taken aback. So that was really cool. But it was mainly through Soulvent. Soulvent really did kind of like navigate that for us and help us get that connection. So it was really cool. Really cool.
Jack and Joe seem to have a very, very large contact list. So yeah, I'm glad they did. Yeah, persuasive as well. Yeah, Leo, was it something you had to fit in, or like, something easy decision?
I did get sent a lot of music.
Yeah.
That's half of the things I listen to as well. So the drum and bass, I'm just like, right, so what's this track? No, I really liked the track. It had lots of drama from the word go, so I was kind of intrigued. I never say that I'll definitely do something until I've had an improvisation session on it, and I know that there are some ideas there. Then it didn't take long for that Lawless word to come out, and I was like, ooh, I quite like that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Awesome. So, Blacklab boys, looking at your back catalogue, that you haven't really worked with many vocalists to date. How does it change your like production process, or influence in how you're writing a tune that if you knew you're going to have a vocal in it from the outset, or when you got vocals back to process them and put them with the music? How's it changed things for you?
So as you mentioned, we haven't worked with too many vocalists previously on our other releases. This is actually one of the few examples where I feel the collaboration was really natural. We sent some ideas, we got back some feedback on effects, on where we can go ahead and make some adjustments and stuff between us and Leo. I want to say when we had made the track, we definitely made the track thinking that maybe a vocalist would fit. So we made sure that there was going to be space in case it did come back. Thankfully, we kind of planned ahead for that. And with that, once we did get those vocals back from the improv session, we definitely heard like parts on that where we're like, yeah, this is going to fit. This is going to work. From there, we did have to make some arrangements and adjustments around the little demo that we had. But again, it was to fit Leo's voice and to fit the vibe that we got on that track. And I think once we captured the voice part as well, like it flowed pretty naturally.
Mm.
So how many times did it go backwards and forwards, this track? Like a lot of times, or?
No.
I want to say, I think we passed over just 2 or 3 versions, maybe.
Not very many at all.
And is that a small number? I don't know. Is it, what's a normal amount in your experience, Leo?
For me, that's kind of normal. I like to, often I'll write like a melody idea first and send it to whoever I'm working with to see if they like that before I spend time writing the lyrics. But on this occasion, the lyric was almost there before the melody. So it was quite a polished idea when I sent it to these guys. And then they just sent back their version of the structure. And then it was just one message of feedback on that. And then the next one, they had pretty much the finished thing. So that was great.
Awesome. I just want to take a couple of seconds to talk about the B-side as well, because I think that's a great tune as well. Like, what's the inspiration for that, guys? Have you any secret insights you can give me on the B-side?
I started writing that B-side some years ago after I want to say I was hearing a good chunk of like Galaxy music actually, and I was like, I want to have a song that we can mix in with one of their tunes as well, and that was like the main inspiration to start it. And then the vocal itself, the vocal bit that I have for that track, it's a free sample kind of deal. It was one of those things where you sign up, you get like an email saying, hey, check out these vocals, and I clicked through and I was like, this actually sounds usable. It doesn't happen too often where, the little free sample packs are going to come with, quality sounds. I grabbed it, kind of just did some little effects on it, twisted it up, and it ended up like lining up with the track pretty well. So I was like, this sounds like it's done. I'm just going to chuck this away for now. The vibe was captured and it just stood in the hard drive for years, basically.
Yeah, really.
I think we sent an earlier version of Need to Be to Kino.
Yeah,
Kino sometime last year, and he had played it out. And it got really, really good reception. So I think sometime around that point, we kind of decided that we were going to send the tune out.
Keep it as a dub, kind of keep it around since we knew it kind of had a vibe going. And it looks like it kind of worked out as well. So
yeah, absolutely. It
looks like it found home.
And he played it on his most recent live stream, I think, as well.
Yeah, I think he did.
So there you go. The final version came back around, and he gave it the love that it deserves. I know. Obviously, Leo, you're in the UK. We've got some progress with the vaccine program. I'm not getting too excited, but I am a little bit. I was just going to ask you, can you tell us anything about what you're doing later on this year? Anything booked, or are you going to any shows in particular? How are you going to try and make up for lost time?
This year I'll actually be making my way back to the UK.
Oh, sorry.
I'm actually in Canada.
Apologies.
Where I've had it good over here compared to you.
Oh yeah, you have. You have.
I kind of feel bad. I'm coming back early because I'm thinking at some point I need to go down with the ship. So I'll be coming back in July.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to kind of see what happens. I've been doing DJ sets with my boyfriend, which have been quite fun. But obviously, we wrote a set and then we were ready to go with it, and then everything went to shit. And then I'm coming back into Bristol area. I think I'm really keen to kind of take that to the next level and start a kind of live, kind of mixed DJ band project. So hopefully, come winter, that'll be ready to blast out.
I will keep my eyes open for that. That'd be cool.
Yes, you will.
We'd love to come and see it live. What about you guys in Las Vegas in the US? I don't know what the latest is on gatherings and live events and stuff over there. But anything in the pipeline?
I'm not too sure for us quite yet. We actually work in healthcare stuff, like we are in healthcare, and so we see the direct effects of that of the COVID experience right now, of the pandemic. And so right now we're mainly we're mainly focused on like the work stuff. I know that Vegas and in itself, there's been a little bit of chatter about some festivals coming back, Life is Beautiful, EDC, things like that. But right now it's kind of still up in the air, kind of saying like, we're being hopeful, you know, if something comes through, that's really great. But if not, you know, I'd rather prefer the safety over the party. At this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it's just when there's light at the end of the tunnel, you just get a bit excited, you know.
It's hilarious like the English when it's like, because over here the party is not that big a deal, and then on my Facebook it's just like, all right, so we've got a date where things are suddenly everyone's like, what are you doing on Friday?
Yeah. I've got a countdown like on my desktop on my computer to the 21st of June, so can't come quick enough. Yeah, can't come quick enough. What about anything you can tell us about any other releases in the pipeline? Or is that super secret
ourselves?
Stuff? Yeah, for you
so
first.
We do have, I want to say so far for this year, I actually just went over this earlier this week. We have about an hour of new tunes written out, which is fantastic. Personally, we've just kind of been on a writing spree. It's been happening really naturally the last couple of weeks, which has been cool. So I think now after this release, we actually have to spend some time trying to find some homes for the releases, but nothing currently in the pipeline.
Okay. We look forward to hearing them.
Yeah.
You guys will definitely be hearing.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Leah?
I've got loads.
Yeah, you got loads. You've always got something.
I just keep writing loads. It's been like a really fun year of writing for me. I think I've got a release probably going to be lined up one a month.
Wow.
I've got 15 tracks that are finished, which are
15. Did you say?
Yeah, which have either been signed already, or there's like one or two which are still being chatted about. So yeah, you'll get it.
Awesome. Yeah, look forward to that. Right. I will just bring it to a close now by saying thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me today. It's been great for me personally to A, meet you, and B, get some insights into the process to, you know, get to the finished output, and, you know, some background into you guys. So yeah, thank you very much. For anyone listening and watching this, go buy Lawless, backed with Need to Be from Blacklab and Leo Wood, and enjoy it and tell your friends about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Hopefully speak to you soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This guy